Okay, this is Mike with Edge On Up, and this tutorial is going to concern taking manual measurements with the SLCF20 slice fixture. We're going to be using our SLCTM test media, and you'll see with SLMTM test media that we have a triangular shaped notch in the top and a horizontal slot in the middle. And the theory here is that this is where we rest our knife edge when we begin the test, right in the slot, and then our horizontal slot here dictates the depth of cut. And dictating the depth of cut is very useful when comparing one edge to another, and that's what we're going to be doing in this experiment, is comparing edges one to another. So I have 3 test media fixtures that are already loaded up, and here you go. This is the SLCF20 test fixture, and you'll notice it has a magnetic base, so that allows us to place and remove test fixtures very quickly and easily. And I think that what we'll be doing this morning is we're going to run 3 tests in a row using 2 different knives. Our first knife is going to be this one. This is the same knife that I used in the slice plate video, and if you recall, and if you've seen that video, this is when I picked up the zucchini. I also picked up this knife at the grocery store, $8. This knife, our second knife that we'll be testing, is one I brought from home this morning, and I served 2 purposes with bringing it with me to work this morning, because I know that it needs to be sharpened, because I was attempting to slice a tomato last night with it, and I had to gouge a hole in it with the point before I could get the slice started. So we're going to be taking then 3 tests, and at the conclusion of each test I will go over here and save that file to disk, and then at the conclusion of our video, then we'll sort of do this video in 2 parts. We'll review those files for each test. Now I'll probably edit out this file saving portion just to save time in the video, but be that as it may. So anyhow, so we're going to take 2 measurements with this knife, 1 measurement with the dull knife, and then we'll look at those at the conclusion. So let's start measuring here. So a little bit about our setup. I've got an E-Lab B here, and it's all loaded up and ready to go. I'm running E-Lab standard software user interface over here on the computer currently. So as you can see, here's our computer sitting right over here. So anyhow, let's get started. Let's take a couple tests. We'll do 2 with the grocery store knife, and then 1 with my home kitchen knife. Alright, so when I place the knife edge into this notch, the triangular shaped notch in top, that tells me that I'm aligned perfectly with the fixture, and I'll go into more of that, and there we go. There's test 1. Okay, so let's go over here, and I see that our test has ended. So I will begin the process of saving this test. And I think I'll save this test as ELA. Okay, that's done. So let's swap out fixtures here. We've saved our first test as I said, ELA, into a directory that I've created on my desktop. So let's put this fixture in place. And we're going to do the same thing with the same knife. Whoop, wrong knife. Here we go. There we go. Okay. So let's, and I see our test is ended once again over here. So let's export that data. And we'll call this ELB. Okay, we're back. I have finished saving that file, and I saved that one as ELB. So let's take this fixture off, put a new one on. Let's check to make sure that I have started a new test, and I haven't, so I'll do that now. Now, it's important to note that even though we're just sitting here talking, we're not actually logging any data yet because the instrument is not yet sensed that the test has begun. So we can talk all we want to, and we're not racking up data in our file. So, okay, so I think we're ready here. We've begun the test. And so, whoop, wrong knife. Yes, this is the dull knife from my kitchen. So, here we go. There we are. Okay, so I will save that as dull knife, EL dull or something like that, and we'll be back and we'll have a look at these files. Okay, we're back with our data files on the 3 tests that we took, and you're currently looking at the desktop screen of my office computer, and I've had a look at these 3 files and placed them into a folder on my desktop called Demo 1. So let's open that up, and here we have ELA, ELB, and EL dull. A and B, as you remember, were taken with the same knife. And EL dull was taken with the knife that I brought in from my kitchen this morning. So let's open up ELA, and here we have our file name, ELA. Test time was 6.8 seconds. The average force, in other words, the average of all these values in the middle column, was 291. And the maximum force was 397. And of course, our test media was SLC20. So let's close that. And let's do this. I have combined B and A into one spreadsheet so that we can look at the data side by side. So let's open that up. And here we have B over here and A over here. And so in review, our average force here was 291. Our max force was 397 in test A. Over here we have our average force was 287, 4 grams less, and our max force was 391. So those are 2 nice repeatable tests using the same knife. So let's close that, and then we'll go into a little more detail here with our EL dull. Yes, so we can see the average force is considerably higher. 100 and roughly 30 points higher. Our maximum force is considerably higher as well. So that's indicative of a dull knife. So let's go down here and look at, you can see since the test time was longer, we have considerably more data here, 110 data points. If we go up here, we can see 559 was our max force, and as about expected, that occurred somewhere close to the end of the test. So there is our max force, that's the maximum force, and then of course as we go down here, we finally drop off rapidly as we approach the slot, and then finally our last data point was 82, and then our very last data point would have been 0, of course, and it doesn't log zeros, so you don't get to see that number. So conversely, on the front end, we started off, now we see more of a ramp. We started off at 45 grams, 84, 137, going up, 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 up. And so there you have it. So we demonstrated the repeatability of the system with our 2 tests, A and B. And then we showed a different side of the story with our dull knife and much higher numbers. So I think that concludes this video. So thanks for tuning in. And when the music comes on, that means it's time to turn the lights in our sharpening room off.